Good evening. I'm Cindy Simon, head of the Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, and I am delighted to welcome you to the department's commencement ceremony for our May 2026 graduates. I'm sorry that we started 10 minutes late, but we have a lot of graduates, and one young lady had 16 syllables in her name, and we wanted to pronounce it right, so it took a little bit of time. So our apologies. But before we welcome the graduates, I have two announcements. First, please don't stand in the aisles or in the doorways. And I doubt there are any people here late, but if they come late, your family or friends, they will be ushered to a overflow room where they'll be able to watch the ceremony on live stream. So don't worry about them. Okay, so the moment we've been waiting for. Will everyone please stand and join me in welcoming the 2026 chemical engineering graduates. So first, let me start by introducing the faculty that are here with us tonight. So first, the people on stage. We have faculty member Matt Cooper. The grads can clap really a lot. We have to teach the families to clap more. Then second on stage is Michael Dickey. And on the far right, Christine Grant. Orlin Velev. Adriana San Miguel. Carol Hall. Lillian Shao. Alexa Easley. Eric Santiso. Leah Granger. Artem Rumiansef. Sorry. Kirill Efemenko. I see Greg Parsons, but I don't. Oh, Bala Rao. And Greg Parsons. And in the very back, Lisa Bullard. Well, congratulations to our new graduates. Oh, I forgot someone. Phil Westmoreland. And Jan Ginzer. Thank you, guys. It is really hard to see them over there. Congratulations to our new graduates. You have made it. A degree in chemical engineering is worth celebrating, and it's worth reflecting upon. Thank you. You have worked hard, you've grown tremendously, you've learned a lot. McCabe-Thiele diagrams, vapor-liquid equilibrium, fugacity, partial differential equations. And you know how to work in teams, you know how to communicate effectively, and I think you all know how to, as you guys say it, lock in and get it done. Your graduating class is the 102nd graduating class of our chemical engineering department. In 1924, we first became a department at State, and at that time we had 25 undergrads, 3 grad students, 1 room in Winston Hall that was the classroom, the undergraduate laboratory, the research laboratory, and the professor's office. And there was only 1 professor, and he was also department head. His name was Professor Edgar Eugene Randolph, and his PhD was in English. His dissertation title was the ing word in English. He studied gerunds. You guys remember? I think that the kids must have had a hard time with their unit ops reports back then. But our first graduating class, 101 years ago, had 2 bachelor students. Now we have a department of 37 faculty, 15 staff, 600 undergrads, 220 graduate students, and today we are graduating 168, 11 PhDs, 25 masters, and 132 bachelor's degrees. And half of our seniors. Yeah. Half of our seniors, half, are graduating with honors. That is really, really impressive. So you might ask, you know, we just had our 100th birthday. What have chemical engineers done in the last 100 years? Near the top of that list is development of fertilizers that feed the world antibiotics, which save 200,000 lives a year in the United States, vaccines, which have virtually eliminated smallpox and polio and saved millions of lives a year. And of course, we developed the petrochemical industry, which transformed the agrarian society of the 1925 into our high-tech economy. In 1925, the average North Carolinian made $2,000 a year. These kids, I think our average starting salary is now over $85,000. Even with inflation, that's impressive. So, kudos. But with all these great achievements came unforeseen costs. So the next 100 years, I predict the chemical engineers will be the leaders in green energy, in electrification, in healthcare, and innovating smart technologies that we cannot even imagine today. Our department has been and continues to be a leader in chemical engineering and its evolution. Part of that evolution is reflected in our name. And 20 years ago, we changed our name to Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering, and now 30% of our undergraduates have concentrations in either biomanufacturing or biotechnology, and half of our faculty do research in bio at some point. And our faculty are also on the forefront of artificial intelligence, actively solving global challenges, cleaning up the environment, cleaning up microplastics with enzymes, reducing CO2 emissions, understanding dementia, and developing better batteries. But although we perform groundbreaking research, one of the biggest things that I am proudest of, and one of the reasons why I came here to be department head, is that we are here for our students. We want to teach our undergrads and our master's students and prepare them for their success, to mentor our PhD students, and give them the guidance and the freedom to perform cutting-edge research, and to know that our students are well prepared to go out there and become successful alumni. One thing I think that you guys have all felt is that we're a family here. And I want to take a minute to just digress and pay a small tribute to Professor Bob Kelly, who passed away this spring. He was an active faculty member. He studied thermophiles. Those are bacteria that live in hot environments. So his group would go to Yellowstone and collect samples. I kind of envied them. But his research was the highest caliber. He won numerous awards. He was a recipient of the NC State Alexander Quarles Holiday Medal for Excellence in 2021, the university's highest honor. I just have to say that Carol got that honor this last week. And so she joins a select group of chemical engineering faculty who have that honor. But back to Bob. Bob was really, really passionate about his research, but he was probably more passionate about his teaching and his mentoring. He was a director of BIT, the biotechnology program, for 25 years. And a lot of you are graduating with a concentration in BIT. He was a wonderful teacher. He was a second father to many of our young faculty, and he was really an extraordinary advisor. He won the Bless Us Award for undergraduate advising, which very few faculty win. Usually, they're people that advise solely. And he also, at his funeral, one of the people who came down was a previous department head at CMU, who just happened to walk by his office, and he said, "Are you lost? Do you want to come talk to me?" She started research in his lab. And the next thing she knows, she's getting her undergraduate degree, working with him, got her PhD, and it's just extraordinary what he accomplished. But the one thing that Bob always said is he said that he wanted students to not only succeed, but to exceed their expectations. And I just hope that for you. I hope that in 20 years or 40 years, that you look back and you are amazed and that you are proud of what you've accomplished. So today, you're starting that journey. You're graduating with a degree in chemical engineering from NC State. You're joining 7,000 prior graduates, presidents and vice presidents of global chemical companies, entrepreneurs, lawyers, professors, medical doctors, and of course, process engineers and project engineers. And all of these alumni are having a great impact. So I guess my message is, it's your turn. It's your turn to change the world. You guys have not only the creativity to envision a better world, but you also have the skills to make that happen. So I urge you to find your life's work, to make a difference, to tackle problems with integrity, social awareness, and compassion. So it's wonderful opportunity, but the future is also your responsibility, and that's pretty heavy. But I think you guys are prepared. And never forget the value of the wolf pack, to watch out for one another and to work together, because that's how we can make this happen. So it's been a privilege for all of us faculty to be able to help you learn and to grow. It is a privilege also for me, especially as department head, to watch what you accomplish. So congratulations to all of you on this very special day. So now I would like to introduce Dr. Russ O'Dell, who will introduce our alumni speaker, Ned McCoy, President and CEO of Civica RX. Russ received his bachelor's degree in Chemie from State in 1975 and his PhD in 1978. And then he worked for Hoxsellines for many years. He came back to raise money for the university, and now he's our alumni director. So he may be calling you guys.
So first, as Director of Alumni Relations, let me add congratulations on behalf of our over 8,000 alumni to our class of 2026, BS, MS, and PhD grads. Also, from all of our alumni, how about a shout out for tomorrow, for Mother's Day, for all of you. How about a big round of applause? I now have the pleasure of introducing Ned McCoy as our alumni speaker. He is here with his wife, Gail, his son, Michael, and also with his company's Chief Manufacturing and Supply Chain Officer, Dave Sagal, and their Chief Quality Officer, Stephanie Robertson. You might wonder why they're all here. They're also grads of our department. Ned earned his BS degree summa cum laude from our department, and then followed that with an MS degree under Dr. Hal Hoffenberg, who is here, and Bill Koros as the thesis advisors. Dr. Hoffenberg told me this week he remembers Ned very well, adding that he always had a smile. Looking through our archives, I found Ned was treasurer of our AICHE student chapter. He was president of the Engineers Council. In addition, he won a College of Engineering Senior Award for leadership. Turns out this is a great predictor of his success in business. Ned served at Abbott for 32 years, where he led teams in hospital products, pharmaceutical products, nutrition, and corporate mergers and acquisitions. While at Abbott, he was the recipient of 4 President's Awards for outstanding accomplishments, and he had 11 issued patents to his credit. Ned joined Civica when it was founded in September 2018 and now serves as its President and Chief Executive Officer. In past roles as Chief Operating Officer and Chief Business Development Officer, he provided day-to-day oversight for Civica's growing business, including the building of Civica's state-of-the-art essential medicines manufacturing facility in Petersburg, Virginia. Ned grew up in a small town, mountain town of Franklin, North Carolina, in the western part of the state. He and his wife Gail live in Dublin, Ohio, and have 3 children. And there they are. My wife Susie and I would like to thank Ned and his team at Civica RX for their ensuring the accessibility, affordability, and quality of essential generic injectables and biosimilar insulins. So here's a picture of Wolfpack Abby, our granddaughter, who was diagnosed last year with type 1 diabetes. So insulin has become a critical medication for her. So again, thanks, personal thanks from our family. Now, please give a warm Wolfpack welcome to Ned McCoy.
Good afternoon, families, faculty, and most importantly, the NC State Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering class of 2026. Congratulations. Thank you to the parents for entrusting your children to NC State. Thank you for the faculty for your dedication to teaching. And thank you to the Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering Department for the invitation to speak today, which is a great honor. I'm excited to share some of the things that I've learned in my long career. And since my graduation, and I promise to keep my comments short, only about 10 minutes, okay? As Russ said, I grew up in a small town called Franklin, North Carolina, about 3,000 people in the western part of the state. When I arrived on campus in the 70s, and my parents dropped me at Burgall Hall with 2 suitcases, that was it. I arrived with a curiosity, with a lot of curiosity about how things worked, and also a fair amount of confidence from high school, and a lot of fear of the big change in my life. And standing here today, I realized that the 2 degrees here in chemical engineering that I earned in 79 and 81, boy, that seems like a long time ago, studying under legends, Dr. Hal Hoffenberg and Bill Koros. They taught me my first lesson, that your degree and your first job, many of you probably already have your first job, are only the start. I'd like to share with you some of the things that I've learned since I graduated. You're probably wondering, how the heck did you get from here, from NC State in chemical engineering, to where you are today, the CEO of a pharmaceutical company, a nonprofit pharmaceutical company? In the next 10 minutes, I'd like to share with you some of the things, some of the lessons, the 10 lessons that I've learned. Let's call them Ned's top 10, okay? So lesson 1, probably the longest explanation, but maybe the most important, is that it's up to you to determine your unique strengths and where you want to start and how you want to build on that again and again to the next challenge. Because that's how it's worked for me. I went from an undergrad in chemical engineering to grad school, focused my thesis work in plastics, permeation in plastics, leveraged that into a job at Shell in New Orleans, starting up a plastics manufacturing plant, leveraged that into a job in another company manufacturing and selling aseptic packaging and equipment, which I then leveraged into a job at Abbott Laboratories, aseptically filling baby formula, which led to a 32-year career at Abbott in a lot of different divisions, as Russ said, and on and on and on. It goes on. What I learned was you bring those unique skills and strengths to a job, and that's sort of your anchor, and then you take and you gain knowledge and skills to continue, and that compounds with time. A good analogy is mathematics. All of you here are very accomplished engineers. You're probably really good at math. How did that happen? First, it started with adding and subtracting, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, calculus, chemical engineering. Each year you built on the previous learnings, and you couldn't miss a step. You couldn't skip one. It built to the next one. That approach is also what allows you to go in many different directions with your careers. We talked about how you can do a lot of different things. I got to tell you a quick story. My best friend in high school went to Duke, and then he went to medical school at Carolina. Smart guy. About 5 years into his urology practice, we were talking, and I said, how's it going? He said, I just realized that I'm doing the exact same thing I'll be doing for the rest of my life. I thought to myself at that time, I said, I no longer regretted my decision to go to medical school. I realized that NC State gave me the skills to do many different things, many different opportunities, and I wouldn't be doing what I was doing now for the rest of my life. My education and the experience that I gained along the way led to many different jobs, from engineering to pharmaceutical marketing to licensing and acquisitions to general management for two organizations, and then to a CEO job, but many steps in between. But you get the idea. And in 2018, nearly 8 years ago, I retired from Abbott. No plans to go to work anyplace else. Got contacted by hospitals saying they're sick and tired of drug shortages and they want to build their own manufacturing plant, and had no idea how to do it. Would I come and help them? And we started Civica, a nonprofit pharmaceutical company dedicated to fixing the broken parts of our system. I flunked retirement but landed the most rewarding opportunity of my career. The education here at NC State and the experience I gained in every one of those different jobs prepared me to be the CEO of Civica. And that knowledge to do good things like providing medications that are available and affordable to everyone in a nonprofit way. That one might have been the longest one. Lesson 2. Lesson 2, I took a corporate path. Each of you need to ask yourself, am I a corporate team player or am I an entrepreneur? You must reassess that frequently. Gail and I have 3 children, as Russ mentioned. All 3 work in the corporate world today. It's a great place to start. I'd recommend it. But now 2 of them are looking for their own businesses, to be their own boss and to build equity in a business. Not the path I took, but a lot of our rich friends went that route and started their own businesses. So it's a possibility. There's other possibilities besides corporate. Lesson 3. If you want to start in the corporate world to succeed, you can become a star by filling the white space. And what do I mean by that? Do your job well, work hard, but to become a star, look for the gaps, something no one else is doing, and then own it. Lesson 4. Along the way, especially in your first job, it's most important, probably the most important thing is to seek out a good boss, someone who will actually teach you and mentor you. You bring your experience and your energy to the party, but you need to continue to build that knowledge and value as we talked about in lesson 1. If you've already taken your first job and you get there and you don't have a good boss, start looking for a change. Lesson 5. Professional success is a balance of doing your job well and networking. Many of you know this already. You've learned this in chemical engineering and classes. In almost every case, your next opportunity will be unexpected. Social media can help, but there's no substitute for face-to-face and helping someone feel a need to solve a problem they have. Lesson 6, simple advice, but learn selling skills and learn financial skills. Not something we do a lot in chemical engineering here, but let's face it, most of us are very technical people, and we know not only to do good work and have good ideas, you have to be able to sell and convince others. I actually saw that very early here at NC State. My mentor, Hal Hoffenberg, sitting beside my wife over there, was a wonderful professor and mentor to me. He also was one of the best at selling his ideas that I'd ever seen. And that helped him get funding for the work that we did and grad students like me to work for him and work in that space. So it also led to some other big things for Dr. Hoffenberg, such as Associate Dean of Engineering, Special Assistant to the Chancellor, and then a very surprising move to Athletic Director. Going back to finance, the projected financial impact of your idea will be a key driver. Without a good understanding of economics and the ability to run financial models, at some point you'll be limited. And if at some point you decide to go the entrepreneurial direction, this will be even more important if you're running a business. Lesson 7, be curious, and as you gain confidence, learn to be decisive. Ask a lot of questions. Be aware of the trap. What you see is all there is, because there's always something hidden. Ask a lot of questions, but then act and be ready to do that with 80% of the information. Lesson 8, and one of my favorites, think slow and act fast. Let me share an example that I read recently. The Empire State Building in New York was built under budget and ahead of schedule because they planned meticulously and executed with speed. Compare that to the California high-speed rail to nowhere, as it's called, originally estimated to be $33 billion, connecting San Francisco with LA. Sounds like a good idea, but now it's estimated to cost $230 billion and is going to go from Bakersfield to Merced by 2030. Took a long time. Leaving that window open always allows bad things to happen. I've seen this so many times in some of the business deals that I've done or attempted to do. A couple of real personal examples for you today where you need to think slow and act fast: marriage and getting a tattoo. Lesson 9, more importantly, work from right to left. Start with a goal in mind. Building a bridge isn't the goal. Connecting a community to healthcare is the goal. At Civica, the goal wasn't building the plant in Virginia. The goal is ensuring no patient goes without life-saving insulin. Lesson 10. Finally, as you head out into the world, take care of yourself. We all think about living a long lifespan. To me, living a long health span is more important. To stay healthy, I do 6 things every day. 1, exercise. 2, eat well. 3, go outside. 4, meet someone new. 5, learn something new. 6, laugh hard. Before I wrap up, I'd like to recognize 4 important guests supporting me or who are here today. First, and if you could kind of stand up and wave to the crowd, Stephanie Robertson, Civica's head of quality, NC State Chemical Engineering graduate, 1995. Dave Siegel, Civica Chief Manufacturing and Supply Chain Officer. NC State Chemical Engineering graduate, BS 94, Masters 99, hold up, PhD 2002. And of course, most importantly, my best friend and the mother of my 3 children, sorry, Gail, and the wife of 40 years, Gail McCoy. Sorry, Gail. After 40 years, you still do it for me. Also joining us is our 32-year-old son, Michael McCoy, who resides in Charlotte, where he works for Abbott Laboratories. Class of 2026, you're graduating from one of the finest engineering programs in the world that's helped you grow, help you build intellectual reasoning, interpersonal skills, and the grit you need to be successful in any field. I've reached the point in life where I very much would like to give back. And if you would like advice or to talk about one of my life's lessons, or maybe some of the ones I didn't talk about today, please reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm very serious about that. And I'll connect you. I'll give you my contact information and we can talk. Class of 2026, go out there and make us proud. Congratulations. Go Pack.
We will now hear from our senior speaker, Jaden Leatherman, who will be introduced by Dr. Matt Cooper. Matt joined our faculty in 2011, and he is the director of undergraduate programs. He has won numerous awards, both at NC State and nationally, for teaching and engineering education, including the prestigious Alumni Distinguished Undergraduate Professor Award. Let's give him a warm...
It is very rewarding to see this sea of graduates. I am so proud of all of you. It is my honor to introduce our student speaker representing this year's graduating class, Jaden Leatherman. Jaden Leatherman is completing, or has completed her BS in chemical engineering. Her leadership roles include president and founder of the German Ambassadors Club, regent of the Theta Tau Rho chapter, and captain of the American Institute of Chemical Engineers ChemiCar team. As a research assistant in the FedQ lab, she has worked on the development of nanostructured separators and high-loading cathodes for lithium-sulfur batteries. During her undergraduate career, Jaden completed an internship at Electra in Colorado, where she worked towards the development of their electrochemical iron deposition process, with the goal of decarbonizing iron manufacturing. She also completed a co-op at Form Energy in Massachusetts, where she validated electrode designs for sustainable long-duration iron-air batteries. Additionally, she has gained international experience interning at Lanxess and RWE in Germany as a U.S. Department of State scholarship recipient. Beyond engineering, Jaden enjoys spending her time outside, hiking, traveling, and rowing. Following graduation, she will begin her career at ExxonMobil as a customer application and development engineer. Let's welcome Jaden to the podium.
Hi, everyone. This is a new public speaking PR for me, so bear with me here. I want to start by thanking the CBE department for all of the support over the past 4 years, and of course, the great honor of being able to speak here today. If you haven't run into me in class or around campus, my name is Jaden, and believe it or not, I'm graduating here today right along with you all. When I look out to all of you, I think of a million little memories that constitute our time together here at NC State. From Fed Day to senior design, and every little moment in between. And truly, it is with great pride that I'm able to look back upon my time at State and know that we beat UNC in football all 4 years. Though our football rivalry wasn't one of our challenges, our generation has been through so much in the past couple of years. Maybe we didn't walk uphill in the snow, both to and from school, like our parents supposedly did. But we have seen a pandemic, the growth of artificial intelligence, a rise in mental health struggles, and even war. But to be honest with you, there were times when my greatest concern was that transport to problem set. We are certainly no strangers to challenge. In fact, this degree has taught us to run towards those challenges because a challenge is an opportunity to solve a problem. And that's what chemical engineering is really all about. And I'm aware that many of us have faced hardships even past that. There are stereotypes about who should or shouldn't be an engineer. But if there's anything engineering has taught us, it's to question every single assumption. This degree was earned. Those stereotypes and assumptions were broken down by hours in the student lounge, smeared whiteboards full of differential equations, and late nights with our homework groups. They were broken down by camaraderie and an understanding that we all belong and deserve to be here. We are sitting here today as a result of our tenacity, our strength, and our unfaltering mission to graduate. And now we've done it. The only question left is what's next. As life goes, there will be a few bumps along the way and new challenges to face. But the beauty of it all is that we get to build the future that we want to see. The people in this room will be great doctors, lawyers, entrepreneurs, pilots, engineers, thinkers and doers, and maybe even astronauts, or whatever path you choose to take. You all will be the next generation's creators, teachers, experts, and most importantly, dreamers. We've solved transport and thermo problem sets. Now it's time to solve the world's. In pursuit of these ambitious goals, do not forget the community around you. Believe it or not, it truly has been a pleasure learning about chemical reactors, process flow diagrams, and thermodynamics over the past few years, to name a few. But it was everyone in this room that made that experience truly exceptional. Weirdly enough, it is the highly caffeinated late nights and hunt that I will remember fondly. The collective sigh of relief in the EB1 atrium after a test. The group frustration after spending hours on a problem just to realize you did some algebra wrong. In the modern world, it is easy to live disconnected online through Zoom calls and social media posts. So much so that it is too easy to forget the community that forged us. The TAs who stayed late to teach us how to approach a problem. The professors who believed in us. The family who supported us. And most importantly, the classmates who made us laugh when times felt hard. And sometimes they did feel hard. We are ultimately a product of the people around us. And I'm proud to say, all of you are extraordinary. As I'm standing up here today, I feel a bit pressured to impart some great piece of wisdom. But the truth is, I know just as much as you do. So I'll leave you with the advice of a far wiser NC State engineer of our own, Christina Cook. Follow your passions, live the life you've imagined, and do what scares you. So, thank you everyone, and congratulations to the class of 2026. We did it!
Thank you, Jaden. That was great. Now is a time we have been waiting for, the recognition of our graduates. So first, I want to remind you guys, when you shake my hand, look at the photographer. And the parents, you guys don't have to take pictures. He takes great pictures. Let me introduce Dr. Mike Dickey, who will read the names of our graduates as they come up to stage. And Dr. Dickey joined the faculty in 2008. He is the Camille and Henry Dreyfus Professor and Associate Department Head. He also has won numerous awards, like all of our faculty, including the highest award in the college, the R.J. Reynolds Award for Excellence in Teaching, Research, and Extension.
While the students are coming up here, I'd like to thank all the family and friends for being here to support these students. And I have to admit that I'm a little bit confused because I really enjoy getting to know these young people that you've helped support. And I know that they're not quiet, but when they came in, y'all were quiet. So I'm giving you the green light to cheer for your special person when they walk across the stage. This is a formal event, but it's also a time to celebrate. You don't have to clap for every graduate, but it is okay to make some noise. Yeah. You ready? Yeah. Bessie Lee Alexandra. Ethan Brady Alfonso. Kaya Chase Andrews. Tochukwu Michael Anna Quincy, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Aaliyah Michelle Armstrong, cum laude. Cedric Kwasi Asiama Ansong. Drew A. Atkinson. Keegan Bader, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Alan Barron. Riley Addison Basinger, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Colton Sheldrick Bevan. Margaret Berry, summa cum laude. Jonathan McFerrin Byer, summa cum laude. Yasa Sweeney Bishi, magna cum laude. Peyton Robert Blosser, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Aaron Murphy Bracken. Nicholas Burrows, cum laude. Andres Jesus Casera Rodriguez, summa cum laude. Gray Warwick Calloway, magna cum laude. Jack William Callahan, summa cum laude. Tammy Gao, summa cum laude. Emma Rose Carpenter, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Annabelle Lee Clary. Rex Edward Colvard III, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Matthew Thomas Cresswell. Caroline Brooke Daly, magna cum laude. Jacob Daniel Dameron, cum laude. John Thomas Daniel, cum laude. Cadence Ronald Davis, magna cum laude. Lindsay Warren Davis. Christian David Day. Timothy Patrick Deaver. Bradley Jackson De La Paz. Ethan Dennis, summa cum laude. Logan Ellis Dickerson. Duke Dix II, summa cum laude. Zachary Reagan Dubisky, cum laude. Zachary Jeffrey Elston, cum laude. Daniel Hammond Etheridge, summa cum laude. Jacob Charles Ferrasi. Dalenska Garcia Lorente. Joseph Daniel Geller, magna cum laude. Etty Geltzler, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Grant Thomas Geltz, magna cum laude. Nicholas Goodwin, cum laude. Sarah Margaret Granger. Eric J. Habsheed. Leah Christine Hansen, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Owen Channing Hart. Lori Marie Hoover, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Daniel Tyler Ireland. Alex Thomas Jacob, magna cum laude. Kyla Jarrell, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Akhil Sai Jayanthi, magna cum laude. Haley Ann John, magna cum laude. Landon Riley Kearney, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Philip Zembilius Clem, magna cum laude. Riley Sarita Koso, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Clara Sophia Kraft, magna cum laude. Jaden Rebecca Leatherman, summa cum laude. Henri Lessard. Adam Joseph Lopiano, magna cum laude. Noah Thomas Love, summa cum laude. Anne-Marie Joyce Macheski, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Olivia Grace Massengale. Abigail Helen Matthias, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Gabriel Reed McCants, magna cum laude. Zania McLaughlin, cum laude. Ryan Meadows, cum laude. Morgan Elizabeth Meacham. Jacob Charles Melander, cum laude. Angie Mendez. Joseph David Miller, cum laude. Tyler Everett Miller, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Shirin Aisha Mohammed, cum laude. Samantha Jane Musatso. Anna Christina Muchakot. Emerson Murray, magna cum laude. George Samuel Murray, magna cum laude. Logan Gilbert Newell, magna cum laude. Elizabeth Mai Nguyen, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Angela Nee, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Luke Henderson Oates, summa cum laude. John McIntyre Palmer, cum laude. Sydney Marion Parks. Julian Andres Perez Velasquez, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Hayden Chase Perry, magna cum laude. Nathan Thomas Perry, cum laude. Vincent Thomas Pope, summa cum laude. Alexander H. Posner, cum laude. Jasmine Nerfathia Prabawa. Jessica Hazel Pracht. Catherine Grace Quisenberry, cum laude. Rachel May Race, magna cum laude. Megan Maureen Reese, summa cum laude. Lauren Ashlyn Rice, magna cum laude. Kelly Ann Robertson. Caitlin Grace Rosenberg, summa cum laude. Stephanie Sarari Ruiz Rodriguez. Anna Richmond Russell, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Sebastian Saul Sanchez Aguilar, summa cum laude. Cooper Reed Shart. Ryan Sedlacek, summa cum laude, valedictorian. John Scott Senecal, magna cum laude. Wesley Scott Shelton, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Brooke Kayla Shepard. Jacob Simon, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Tyler Robert Simpson, summa cum laude. Noel Sitaram, summa cum laude. Anastasia Steksova, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Marissa Nicole Sterling. Nora Iona Sutton, summa cum laude. Zachary Lawrence Swartzwelder, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Landon Blair Thomas, summa cum laude. Jana Isabella Thompson, cum laude. Noah Matthew Torreyson, summa cum laude. Sarah Tremich, magna cum laude. Amanda Nicole Vaca, summa cum laude, valedictorian. Ana Paula Valadez Puente, summa cum laude. Samuel Watson Vincent. Connor Michael Weiss, summa cum laude. Hannah Bell Widdowson, magna cum laude. Avery Renee Williams. Brian Yu, magna cum laude. Caroline Faith Youngblood, magna cum laude. Nicholas Stephen Zeza, summa cum laude. Daniel Zhang, cum laude. Let's give a big round of applause for all our Bachelor of Science recipients. Y'all didn't disappoint. Good job. The Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering would now like to recognize the recipients of the degree of Masters of Science. Callahan Grace Abernathy. Neil Ambika Sinivasrao Chiru Ma Mila. That was the 16-syllable one, by the way. Thank you. Jack Gabriel Coates. Joshua Herring Glashing. Ian Thomas Goodall. Samuel Joseph Grove. Lizelle Arangel Kolner. Jenna Nicole Lee. Jillian Whitney McNaught. Raghu Meredith. Siddharth Parekh. Andrew Sartorelli. Akansha Singhal. Caitlin Joy Williams. Let's give one more round of applause for our Masters of Science recipients. The Department of Chemical and Biomolecular Engineering now recognizes the recipients of the Doctorate of Philosophy. I'd like to invite Professor Orlin Bello to the stage, please. Abarup Basu. I'd now like to invite Dr. Adriana San Miguel to the stage, please. Ken Gomez Canales. I'd like to invite Dr. Greg Parsons to the stage, please. Landon James Keller.
Good thing I'm tall.
I'd like to invite Dr. Lillian Shao to the stage, please. Ronnie Andrew Wahabi. I'd like to invite Dr. Jan Ginzer and Dr. Kirill Efomenko to the stage, please. Jiangfeng Zhu. And one more applause for our PhD recipients and all of our graduates.
What a great group of graduates. Okay, I think we have to give them one more round of applause. Okay, so we don't have a lot left, but you have to stay seated for a little bit longer. I would like to invite Jaden to come up to the stage to lead the graduates in turning the tassels. So I think all of the undergrads, you guys have to stand up. And, oh, well, usually you do it wherever you want. Or you can do it.
I'll do it. Class of 2026, are we ready to turn that tassel? All right, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, now you have to sit back down. Thank you, Jaden. Okay, before we recess out, I want to give a big thank you to the departmental staff members, Daniel Riegel, Lauren Marlier, and Emily Rusk. And we had a lot of student marshals that I need to thank: Will Smith, Delaney Charlie, Rebecca Ewing, Hayden Nee, Kason Parrish, RJ Taylor, and Abby Trantham. So what we're going to do now is the faculty are going to lead the procession, and then Jaden will follow, and then you guys follow, and then the people, everybody can stay seated. You guys can clap and make a lot of noise now. And then there's punch and stuff out in the atrium, and there's places for photographs and stuff like that. So have a great evening. Congratulations. Keep in touch and make us proud. Okay.